So let's look at the games from Wednesday to Saturday in round 4 of the Rugby World Cup, and a big focus is going to be on Fiji versus Georgia in this video. But it started off on Wednesday with Uruguay just about getting their win over Namibia. Now I do think overall Uruguay are a better side, but Namibia started fast, a few mistakes from Uruguay they seized upon, so it did look like they might sniff their first ever Rugby World Cup win, but it wasn't to be. So none of these sides going through to the quarterfinals, but still Uruguay will be delighted. Namibia were definitely gutted. Then Japan versus Samoa, 28-22, another close one. Japan, I think they were the better joined up team all the way through. Samoa, we know they've got a lot of firepower when they get it right, but the biggest winner in this game really is England, because it guarantees their qualification for the quarterfinals. Japan now still in the hunt for qualification as well, so that was a big result for Japan. And then let's talk about New Zealand 96, Italy 17, massive win. Italy, I think they thought they were better than this, and they definitely dropped their heads when they knew they were losing, just subconsciously. Their line speed dropped, things like that, but they didn't fight all the way through, and New Zealand absolutely battered them. So yeah, embarrassing for Italy, but a good confidence boost for New Zealand. Of course, they're going to have to play a bit like this against better opposition. Obviously, it's not going to be nearly 100 points, but that's what they need to do, because recently when they've come up against South Africa or France, they haven't got it done, but still, that's what they wanted to do with their first choice team. Certain players are back, which is brilliant. Geordie Barrett, their best 12 by miles, has an all-round game. Shannon Frizzell, they don't have an athlete close to him at 6, unless they want to sacrifice Scott Barrett from the second row, which they probably won't. But New Zealand played like they knew they were better than Italy, and they were so confident they blew them away in every area. So that was really impressive. The flow of the attack couldn't be stopped by Italy. Power, skill, whatever it was one-way traffic. And then another big positive was the return of captain Sam Cane. So their first team now is pretty much nailed down. Aaron Smith again was amazing. My only concern is, do the ABs try and play the champagne rugby too early rather than win the arm wrestle, get in field position with a kicking and then unleash it? It looks like their quarterfinal opposition may well be Ireland, so that's going to be absolutely fascinating. So I think tactics is key for New Zealand. We know they've got the firepower, they've got a great bench. What do you think is going to happen? We had the expected result of Argentina smashing Chile with a bonus point, and then Scotland absolutely demolished Romania. I mean, half-time it was 34-0 already, bonus point stuff, and it was all about getting players who hadn't played much game time, players who are vying for that first choice spot, really going for it. The likes of Hamish Watson was an absolute mission, and he might replace Rory Darge, I don't know. I think it's a long shot, but he did everything he could, and good God, Darcy Graham is so fast. I mean, he scored 4 before half-time, scintillating pace. He's going to be starting in the first team anyway, but that was just great to see. And then on to the exciting one of Saturday, Fiji 17, Georgia 12. Wow, that was close. Georgia played their best game of the World Cup, Fiji their worst. Fiji, maybe half a mind, was on the quarterfinals, and they took their eye off the ball, and Georgia defended so well in that first half. They forced Fiji back, they won some penalties, a big long ranger from Niniashvili playing on the wing this time, a 0-6 after 20 minutes, and it definitely rattled Fiji. They were making lots of mistakes, and I have to say their attacking game plan isn't too subtle. I think they could do with more variations, more decoys, something a bit more special than just hoping a player does something special, makes a break, gets an offload. I mean, they're crazy talented, but I think they need a little bit more than that. So sides will look at that and think maybe we can defend it. And from 20 to 30 minutes, it was just about that Georgian defence. They were so fired up, it was unbelievable. Fiji very messy with the ball, bobbling around all over the place, passing not good enough, so tenacious. They won another penalty, a whopper, which he nails. So that's 0-9 after half an hour. What a great start for Georgia. Then the 10 minutes after half-time is the time, I think, where Georgia could or maybe even should have won the match, because there's a yellow card to Radradra, who needlessly knocks the ball on when there's defensive cover, so that was silly. The guy who comes on for him eventually, Abosi, makes a big impact, to be fair, but they're down to 14 at this point. It's a 5-metre scrum to Georgia. They're very clever. They bring on a fresh prop, win a scrum penalty. They camp on the Fijian line, but they blow it. That was their big chance, I think, and surely eventually we're going to see Fiji come to life. It takes a little bit of time, and like I said, this was the key point in the match. Fiji make a change as well, bringing on Lamani, a scrum half who's a slightly better runner than Kuravoli, but his kicking's a little bit scruffy, but he does enough. Georgian line-out, that's disintegrating, and Fiji finally get the try. Nai Kalevu, ironically, the non-kicking scrum half Lamani actually slots that conversion from out wide, or he does miss one in front just afterwards, but Fiji, they're back to 15 players, they've got the try, they're on the board, 7-9, and that's the turning of the tide. Now, the final 20 minutes are mainly Fiji attacking, although it's not particularly clever attack, although they do go through a lot of phases, and it's enough for Lamani to slot a long-range penalty. It's very ugly, low and squirmy, but somehow it goes over, so they're finally in the lead, 10-9, and then finally Fiji do come to the party with a good team try. It's a good maul, break off the maul, some huge busts. Boschia carries and brilliantly offloads to Abosi, who was excellent coming off the bench. He steps and scores. That was impressive, 17-9. Now at this point it looks like Fiji are cruising for the win. I mean, the Georgian defence has been excellent all game, but Fiji are getting through these monster sets of attack. But again, their kicking weakness strikes Fiji, with fly half Teller this time right in front of the post for a drop goal, but no, scuffs it terribly. And then with 1 minute to go, we see our old friend the stand-up tackle. See the video I've just made, I'm sure it will pop up at the end of this video. But it says yellow card for Tuasova, which I'm sure is going to be upgraded to a red. So he may well miss the quarterfinal, which is, devastating for them because he is so key. But anyway, then we get a penalty, so that is 17-12, and goodness me, with the clock in the red, Georgia nearly go the length of the pitch, but Fiji just hang on. Everyone's off their feet, everyone's knackered, they can't believe how close that was. So a great epic game there, but Fiji just do enough, but goodness me, they're going to have to play a lot better than that to get through to a semi-final. Anyway guys, let me know what you think of those round 4 games so far, love to know what you think, and I'll catch you next time.